Find the domain of the function f of x is equal to radical 2x cubed minus 5x by first letter A using algebra. All right. So in order to find the domain of this, right, we have to first understand domain is just simply the possible values of x, right, that the function is not, or that the function, is allowed to have. All right. So in order to figure out, then the easier way to figure that out is to figure out the values that x cannot be. And then if we figure out the certain values x cannot be, then all other values x can be. All right. Now, I know that might sound a little confusing. However, though, consider that we have a radical. And what values can we take the radical of? Well, the values we're allowed to take the radical of would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, ... All positive numbers, including 0, right? We cannot take the radical of, or the square root, that is, of -1. Okay, it's imaginary. It's not real. So therefore, we know that given this function at the top, whatever underneath this radical sign, namely 2x cubed minus 50x, better be greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so this is how I set up my constraint. So this will now allow me to find certain critical points at which the function may be 0 or greater than 0 or equal to 0. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're just basically going to solve this. Okay. The first step we can do, this is just algebra, is factor out an x. So if I factor out an x, I then get 2x squared minus 50. Okay, is then greater than or equal to 0. Now I can basically break this thing up into two pieces. I can say that x is now greater than or equal to 0. And then I can also now break this up into 2x squared minus 50 is greater than or equal to 0. This part's done, right? It's just that greater than sign. Okay. Now on this piece, all right, we now can factor out, if we wanted to, we could factor out a 2 here. Okay. Essentially we can, or divide both sides by 2 if you wanted to think about it that way. When I divide both sides by 2, I then get x squared minus 25 is then greater than or equal to 0. Okay. This is now a perfect square, right? So this becomes x plus 5 times then x minus 5. It's a binomial. We know that that would be greater than or equal to 0, and then we can come up with these values, right? That x can be greater than or equal to positive and negative 5. All right. Now, in terms of the signs here, what's more important are actually these values here of 0 and plus or minus 5. Because now what I'm going to do is, so that's the first step. I'm basically identifying the critical points. I have a critical point at 0, critical point at positive and negative 5. Now what I want to do is I want to illustrate these points on a number line. Okay, so if I draw like a little number line out, and here's infinity, over here is negative infinity, okay, negative infinity. Here is 0. Let's assume that that's negative 5, and then this will be positive 5. Okay. What I now want to do is now I want to test certain locations on this number line. Okay. I want to test values on either side of these critical points, and actually also including the critical points. All right. So what I want to do here is I want to pick a number. I don't care where it is, but I want to pick a number less than negative 5, but greater than negative infinity. Doesn't matter what you choose. Why don't we choose a value of, let's say, negative 6? Okay. What we now need to do is we now want to take this thing and plug it into our original function. Okay. The reason why we're doing this is because I want to see what happens under this radical. I want to see what the sign is when x is negative 6. Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll rewrite the function. So radical 2x cubed minus 50x. Simply now plug in that negative 6 value. So 2 times negative 6 cubed minus 50 times negative 6. And you can, if you want, just plug this thing into the calculator. All right. Plug it into the calculator. Just find out what part is under the radical. All right. So we get 2 times negative 6, and that's cubed. And then it's going to be added to essentially, right, because it's 50 times 60. Or excuse me, 50 times 6. And we get negative. Negative 132. What's wrong with this? This doesn't make sense, right? We cannot take the radical of a negative number. So now I don't have to go out and keep testing -7, -8, -9, etc. I know for a fact that anything then that was to the left of -5 is going to be undefined. Okay, it doesn't work. So now I know that this region here is not included in my domain. I'm not going to shade it. Okay, I'm not going to shade that region. So now, my next test would actually be -5 itself. So what we can do is we can do the same thing. We can, actually, let me go forward again. Actually, no, let me go back. So now we can test that same radical, right? So we have 2x cubed minus 50x. Plug in now -5. So 2 times -5 cubed minus 50 times 5. -5, that is, right? Take out your calculator, plug it all in. So 2 times -5 cubed plus essentially 50 times 5. Oh, we get an exact value of 0. Can you take the square root of 0? Yes, you can. So we now include 5 in our answer. Okay, it includes 5. Great. Now we got to test the number between -5 and 0. Why don't we make our life easy here? Let's test out -1. What do you say? So let's do -1 here, okay? If I plug in -1 into my equation, let's see what happens. So we get radical 2 times then -1 cubed minus 50 times -1. This will basically simplify down to, this will be -2 plus, now because that was a minus, so plus 50. That sounds like it's going to be positive to me, right? Positive 48. So we are good, right? This interval in here is good. So we're fine here, okay? So now what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start shading that region, okay? So now I'm going to shade this region. But I'm now going to test out 0, okay? Now, test out the actual value of 0. This one's easy. If you plug in 0 for x here, this whole term cancels, this whole term cancels, you're left with radical 0. What is radical 0? It's obviously 0. You can do that. So guess what? This, oops, went back too far. This also now will include 0. So I can put a little dot there if I wanted. I don't necessarily have to, but I'll put the dot there for now, okay? It depends on now what happens in this region from 0 to +5. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to test the number in this region from 0 to +5. Right? I'm testing the values of each critical value, and then I'm testing values at each intermediate stage between those values. So now why don't we choose a value of +1? Let's make our life easy. So 2 times 1 cubed minus 50 times +1, and you already probably see a problem here. There's going to be 2 minus 50. Uh-oh, -49. No good. So therefore, we are not going to include, and I'm just going to erase, we're not going to include this region. We're not going to shade in here up to +5, because I know that all of them won't make sense. The last, well, not the last value, but the next value to check is then +5. So we take the square root and we do 2 times 5 cubed minus 50 times 5. And let's see what we get now. Take out the calculator. All right, 2 times 5 cubed minus essentially 50 times 5. Oh, look at that. We get an exact value of 0. Square root of 0 is 0. That works out. So now I'm going to put a little dot there. Okay. Last but not least, I then have to test this last region, okay? You can choose whatever number you want. Maybe 10 might be easiest, actually. Why don't we choose a value of +10? So again, we're going to check our radical. So 2 times now +10 cubed minus 50 times +10, right? 10 cubed is going to be 1,000. 2 times 1,000 is 2,000. Minus then 50 times 10 is going to be 500. So what do you notice? This is going to be a positive answer. So therefore, this region is good. And I know now that this entire region will be fine, okay? You can test any value you want, but this whole region is good. So this finally now concludes what our domain should be, all right? So the domain of this function is, let's start from the lower bound, okay? So we're going to have -5, okay, including -5, right? This is interval notation I'm doing, all the way to 0. Actually, I showed the exclusive sign. Sorry about that. So this is -5, inclusive of it, all the way to 0, inclusive of 0. Or it could be inclusive of +5 all the way out to positive infinity, exclusive of that because you can't actually include infinity, right? So this would be the interval notation for the answer. All right, you can also do this in, if you wanted, in inequality form, right? -5 would be less than or equal to x, less than or equal to 0. Or it could be 5 is less than or equal to x, less than infinity. All right, either way, you're good. All right, so this should sum up all cases. All right, hopefully that's a pretty detailed discussion. Now, letter B, it says graphing the function in the radicand. So now we want to find the domain by graphing it. All right, I don't know if they, by determining intervals on the x-axis for which the radicand is non-negative. So that's actually what we did over here. All right, we did the algebra, and then we actually basically did letter B at the same time. So I know that these regions we just spoke about are going to be the regions that are positive and negative. You know, so when I graph this thing, so let's throw up a little, let's throw up an axis. All right, I know the important value -5 will be out here. You know, 0 is obviously at the origin. You know, +5 is over here. And you know, in terms of how the graph will look, I know I'm going to have a value of 0, 0. I found that before. I know also over here at -5, it also said the value was, when x was -5, I think the value was 0 too, if I remember correctly, right? So then you just have to figure out what the graph of this thing looks like. You could plot a couple of points, or you could use your calculator. It really doesn't matter. So we know, you know, it's going to look something like this maybe, okay? So but, well, actually I should say this. I know this value was 0. Actually, what was -5? I'm just going to check it, all right, guys? Just give me 1 second. Let me plug in -5 for x. Let's see what we get, all right? So we get second square root of 2 times -5 cubed, and then minus 50 times -5. I thought we got a value of 0. Yeah, we did. So this is also 0 over here. All right, so the graph would probably look something like this, and then it includes 5, and it probably trails off. I don't really know what it looks like, but probably something like that because of the polynomial. So anyway, hope this video helped, guys. All right, please remember to subscribe, help us out, and we'll see you next time. Take care.